Here's your news for February 21st, 2020. We're kicking off today's video with some unfortunate news from Samoa Joe, as the former NXT and United States champion is dealing with a concussion. According to a Pro Wrestling Sheet report that was later confirmed by Dave Meltzer, Joe hit his head on a table break spot while filming a commercial, and it isn't known when he'll be able to return. This is the second concussion the Samoan superstar has suffered this year, as a dive during a tag team match on the January 27th edition of Raw led to a concussion, and Joe only recently returned to the ring after a broken thumb suffered in September kept him on the shelf for a few months. Since returning, Joe has been a fixture of Kevin Owens' feud with Seth Rollins and his disciples, but it looks like the prizefighter will need a new tag team partner now that Joe is once again out of commission. One man who knows a thing or two about injuries in WWE is CM Punk, but despite recently returning to WWE TV as part of Backstage, the best in the world isn't afraid to poke fun at McMahon's company. When the XFL on Fox account asked which city should receive a team next, one fan couldn't help but say Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and Punk suggested the team name of the Bonesaws. The voice of the voiceless is obviously referring to WWE's controversial relationship with the Middle Eastern nation, and is specifically referencing the disappearance and murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi in October 2018, allegedly at the hands of the Saudi royal family. Though the WWE's deal with the Saudis has led to a plethora of bad press due to the country's harsh laws against women, LGBTQ people, and others, the deal has been profitable for WWE, who have shown no signs of backing out of the arrangement. At last year's Super Showdown event, Cain Velasquez made his WWE in-ring debut, and while he was supposed to be at the 2020 Royal Rumble, that obviously didn't happen. According to Wrestling Inc., a knee injury has prevented the former UFC champion from competing, but after having his knee scoped, Cain is feeling much better. There were rumors that Velasquez would be entering a program with WWE champion Brock Lesnar, who hasn't defended his title since Survivor Series 2019, where he defeated Rey Mysterio. At the time, it seemed likely that Brock's next title match would take place at the Royal Rumble, as Lesnar has regularly competed at the January pay-per-view, though the Beast was instead put into the Men's Rumble match, where he eliminated a record 13 people. It has also been confirmed that Velasquez was at the WWE's Performance Center recently, though time will tell whether this translates to a WrestleMania match on April 5th in Tampa, Florida. We've already covered that Samoa Joe will be out with an injury, but the Samoan submission machine isn't the only star to be hurt. On this week's WWE NXT, Lio Rush came up short in an NXT Cruiserweight title match against Jordan Devlin and suffered a possible nose fracture and orbital bone fracture, according to the NXT Now injury report. Austin Theory also suffered a beatdown courtesy of an irate Tommaso Ciampa this week on NXT, though it's unlikely that the back contusions he suffered will keep him out of the ring for long. Instead, the pair are set for a match next week, though it'll be interesting to see what condition both Rush and Theory will be in next week on NXT. On NXT UK, Tyler Bate is also dealing with an injury, and this has had an effect on his bookings outside of the company. Recently, OTT Wrestling released a statement saying that the inaugural United Kingdom champion has been pulled from their upcoming Dead On event, though it wasn't noted just how long the big strong boy will be out of action. We've got even more injury news now, as Rob Van Dam has had a lengthy career in wrestling, but the price of his success is a history of injuries and medical issues. Speaking on the Steve Austin Show podcast, RVD admitted to suffering hundreds of concussions throughout his career, which ultimately had an impact on his long-term health. He said, "I've had hundreds, seriously, hundreds of concussions. Balls Mahoney would hit me with a chair, then crack, it would be like everything's in slow motion. Sometimes the sound goes out. Sometimes you know everything's spinning. I had double vision, but I just couldn't shake it off and kept thinking, well, it'll be gone tomorrow, so I'm not gonna let anybody know. The show must go on." Following the Chris Benoit tragedy in 2007 and Daniel Bryan's retirement in 2016, the WWE are taking concussions much more seriously now, though the damage has already been done to stars like RVD. To his credit, Van Dam remains an active part of wrestling, and has said he can still pull off 90% of the moves he used to do in his career. And while the Impact Wrestling star seems to be doing well, there's plenty of stars who also suffered concussions who aren't so lucky. We're looking ahead to tonight's SmackDown, as this week's show will feature the return of the Bella Twins, though there has been a slight change to their announced segment. When WWE announced that the Bellas would be appearing, they also announced that they'd be appearing on A Moment of Bliss with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, but in an updated graphic for the segment, Cross has been removed. It's unclear why exactly the Scottish superstar has been taken out of the segment, but fans can expect both Nikki and Brie to have plenty to say, as the rumors of an imminent Hall of Fame induction continue to circulate. We are taking a break from the ring now, as we're looking at the sad passing of basketball legend Kobe Bryant, who died with his daughter Gianna in a helicopter accident last month. 7 other people died in this accident, and this week, NXT superstar Dominik Dijakovic wanted to provide support for Kobe's charity. On Twitter, Dijakovic revealed that he planned to put his NXT TakeOver Portland gear up for auction, with the money raised going to the Mamba on 3 fund, which helps the families of the 7 other crash victims, but eBay strangely took the auction down, claiming it violated their terms of service. Hello, unfortunately eBay felt this charity auction violated their TOS, so they removed the listing. I've opened my DMs and will currently accept bids until 12 noon Eastern on Monday, February 24th. I will attach a tweet and update it with the current high bid. Thanks! We'll have to see how much the NXT superstar raises, but in a follow-up tweet, Dijakovic revealed that the bidding has already reached $625 and is expected to go much higher. One superstar who certainly had an impressive showing at TakeOver Portland is Rhea Ripley, as the Australian superstar retained her NXT Women's Championship against Bianca Belair and now has a date with Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 36. With her unique look and personality, Ripley stands out in the NXT Women's division, but the WWE recently had to pump the brakes on that personality a little bit. While speaking to Talk Sports, the NXT Women's Champion revealed that she loves tattoos and once planned to become the most tattooed human ever, but WWE has put a ban on her getting any more ink. She said, "I just love tattoos. I don't know why, I've always loved them. But unfortunately for me, WWE isn't clearing my upper body for tattoos. That's why I wear pants. I got pants so I wouldn't have to clear my tattoos because you can't see them. I'm trying to finish my leg sleeves." This story is very similar to Paige, who was considering a chest tattoo on Total Divas, but was strongly advised against it by others on the show. To be fair, they do have a lot to consider when superstars want to get ink, as promotional material, intellectual property, video games, and action figures are just scratching the surface. While Ripley won't be getting any more visible tattoos for the time being, the NXT Women's Champion can get plenty on her legs as she continues to forge her own impressive career in WWE. Speaking of the NXT Women's division, one woman who asked to join the gold brand is Naomi, who recently returned as part of the Women's Royal Rumble. Speaking to Women of Wrestling Weekly, the former 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion said that she requested the move a year ago, as she wasn't being used much on the main roster at the time. She said, "I was like, dang, I can go down there and just see what I can get into, what could happen, and the talent down there is just so good, just so good." Obviously, Naomi wasn't sent to NXT, but given the recent reports that have suggested she may be competing for the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania 36 against Bayley, remaining on the blue brand might have been the right decision for the Glow after all. From Naomi to her fellow Funkadactyl now, as former WWE superstar Cameron has been distant from wrestling since her release many years ago. Now though, the former Total Divas star is making her return to the ring 4 years after her last match, as she will be part of Effy's Big Gay Brunch on April 4th as part of the GCW presentation during WrestleMania weekend. Cameron's last match came on June 3, 2016, when she, Naomi, and Tamina lost to Alicia Fox, Paige, and Sasha Banks at a WWE house show. There have also been reports that both Cameron and Brodus Clay are booked to be at WrestleMania in Tampa on April 5th, and given the reports of a high-profile match for Naomi, there has been plenty of speculation of a reunion between the Funkasaurus and his Funkadactyls. We are looking at All Elite Wrestling news now, as while this week's edition of Dynamite didn't crack 900,000 viewers, they still won in the ratings war. According to Showbuzz Daily, Dynamite brought in 893,000 viewers on average during their 2-hour broadcast, while NXT had 794,000 viewers. In the coveted 18 to 49 demographic, Dynamite earned a .31 rating while NXT earned a .25, which were both down from the week prior, as the February 12th edition of both shows saw Dynamite get a .41 rating and NXT a .28 rating. To be fair, both of this week's shows saw higher viewing figures, as the February 12th show saw Dynamite and NXT get 817,000 and 757,000 respectively, and it'll be interesting to see what the Gold brand has planned, as they are yet to beat Dynamite this year. More AEW news now, as both the new promotion and WWE are trying to stake their claim to viewers overseas, and this has led to quite an issue recently in Germany. Recently, Sky Germany revealed that their 4-year deal with WWE was coming to an end, and since WWE isn't updating their contract, viewers can now tune in to see AEW Dynamite as well as purchase pay-per-views from now on. This is certainly a huge win for Dynamite, as Sky is one of the most popular satellite providers in Europe, and now countless fans in Germany will be able to watch Dynamite and AEW pay-per-views instead of WWE. It's more bad news for WWE now, as WWE Backstage suffered a drop in viewers this week as the show fell to 127,000. According to Showbuzz Daily, this was a significant drop from last week, which saw 169,000 fans tune in, although last week's show also saw Charlotte Flair and the return of CM Punk, giving Backstage its best numbers since November 2019. This week's episode saw Mark Henry and NXT North American champion Keith Lee appear as guests on the show, and although this week's number wasn't great, it's still far better than the 49,000 who tuned in for the show's debut in its regular time slot. Now, the WWE's war with AEW has been going on for a while, and ever since the brand launched in January of last year, there have been plenty of people who have been caught in the crosshairs. The latest soldier of the war is Vickie Guerrero, who has appeared in AEW and done commentary for AEW Dark a couple of times, and also appeared on Chris Jericho's Cruise. Due to her appearances with AEW, Vickie will have a much smaller guest list for her podcast, as she revealed on a recent episode that the WWE has banned superstars from appearing on her show. This is certainly a petty decision by WWE, as Guerrero spent years working with WWE before her departure, but it also goes to show that AEW's existence matters much more to WWE than the company wants to let on. And finally, we're ending with some news from WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash, as Big Daddy Cool is preparing to receive his second induction during WrestleMania weekend, this time for his work as part of the New World Order. Unfortunately for Nash, a career in wrestling has left his body pretty banged up, though CBD oil seems to have worked well for him. Now, the former WWE and WCW champion has revealed that he is an official global brand ambassador for No Borders Naturals, and spoke about the company in a video. He said, "After 32 surgeries, I know a lot about pain and rehab. I literally vomit 15 minutes after putting an opioid in my body. It makes me sick, and I had tried half a dozen CBD brands with no real results before I was introduced to No Borders Naturals. What really mattered was that I feel better when I take the liquid CBD sublingual under my tongue, apply the muscle and joint balm to myself before my workouts. I can feel a huge difference after my workouts in all my joints applying the muscle recovery roll-on. These products work." In recent years, the use of cannabis-related oils have been a hot-button topic of debate within the medical community, but one thing we know for certain is that Kevin Nash is definitely a fan, and it has certainly helped to ease his pain.